Okay, good. There we go. All right, it is time for our first course. It is delicious, and it is prepared by yet another famous female chef. Actually, she's more than a chef. She is known as the Entertainologist. Google it. Her picture will pop up. She's the best-selling author of Food to Flowers, Chef to the Stars, with a client list that includes Madonna, Bill Clinton, separately, Will and Jada Smith, Ariana Huffington, and more. She's preparing a kale and sweet potato hummus, and she's here right now. Please welcome Lulu Powers. What happened?
Hi, buddy.
What happened to your hand?
Ah, cast iron.
Are you okay? It's
I'm good. It was from a cast iron pan. Too heavy.
Ugh. That's a occupational hazard, I guess, right?
Yes, it is.
So are you making something light and delicious and summery?
Yes, so this was inspired. I grew up in Connecticut, and my mom was a caterer, and she always used to make us make this sweet potato aioli. And actually, it's really delicious. But I decided to add some kale to it and pair it with a lot of different things. And I hope you enjoy it. But I'll kind of put it together for you. And I decided to put dates in it since we're in the date capital.
We are.
And
I think there's some people on dates right now. You can tell.
I think those two over there.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Oh, they're my boys. These guys back here. Woo! We all worked together a long time ago.
And I think there's lots of people that are looking for dates here. So
I
it's
am.
Excellent choice.
My husband's here. I love to use kumquats too. I think they're delicious. And if you cut them really thin, they're really great in your food, but they're also good in sneakies, a.k.a. cocktail. I love kumquats. They're delicious.
Explain that. What's a sneaky?
When I was growing up, my dad used to come in from his vegetable garden, and he'd walk through the kitchen, and I'm one of 6 kids, and we'd be sitting there, and he'd just walk through the kitchen and do this. I'm just going to have myself a little sneaky. And that meant a little cocktail, and he'd bring it out to his garden and watch his garden grow. So I've kind of taken on that term, and I post things about sneakies, and I love making sneakies and enjoying them. But actually, basil that I use today and kumquats are great for sneakies. And if you sign up at lulupowers.com, I always post a lot of sneakies and fun, inspirational recipes.
Right, so people can actually sit at home alone in their own homes and drink your cocktails.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're having a cocktail with you wherever you happen to be.
Just call me. I'll sit on the phone. We'll talk.
All right.
Okay, so, you know, it's like being on TV. It's already made. Oh, there's no spoon. And you know what? If you don't like kale, don't put it in. But this spread, minus the kale or with the kale, is great on sandwiches. It's great to put an egg on top of it. You can put it out with vegetables or put it on crackers and grate extra Parmesan on top.
Kale's the new black, isn't it?
Kale is the new black.
And you know, when I first started eating, I thought it was kind of bitter, but now I actually like it. It's got a little bit of grit to it, a little grind.
Actually, kale is really good too. Maybe if you don't love kale, if you put it in before you put it into a salad, if you put it into the oven at like 350 for 5 minutes just to wilt it a little and then let it cool, it takes away that, because it can be a little brutal on you.
A little bit sometimes. And what is that?
This is stracciatella, which is from this great company in Pasadena. It's a family company that makes burrata and mozzarella and everything. And stracciatella is basically the inside of burrata. And then cucumbers. You know, you want to look like a pro chef and make it all look pretty. You can put cucumbers, if you slice them thin enough, around anything, and it just makes it look pretty.
It's like a delicious fence.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It is. Yeah. So I'm just going to put a little of this dressing. I'm going to actually do a video of this and put it up on my website on Tuesday. So check it out, and it will be there. And when I was a kid, my mom, who is one of my biggest inspirations, always made everything look pretty. Taste good and look pretty. So it's all about pretty for me. And some dates. You know what? Dates are good if you don't want to add a lot of sugar to anything, or if you're making a dressing and maybe need some agave or anything, put some dates in it, because dates are just that great little sweetness. Do we have any questions from the peanut gallery?
I'm going to go out there and get them. First, let me take a picture of you holding that up in front of everybody.
Okay, wait, hold on. I just want to do a couple little dots. Couple little dots. Ooh. I should have done this with a squeeze bottle, but it's good. A little basil. You know, when you put stuff, when you garnish your food, do it up high a little, because if you just garnish it low, it just makes it look like a big plot. But if you do it high, it just, you know, it just makes it look like a work of art. You don't mean high, you mean from a yeah, I don't mean high.
Angle.
I mean from an elevator.
Right.
That's why you're here.
It's California.
It's California. Okay.
Well, that looks
without
fantastic.
That, we'll wipe it off.
I wonder what kind of wine that would go with.
Well,
let's get Mark Davidson back out here.
Come on, Mark.
All right, so you saw this delicious.
I did see this, and it was a complicated dish for wine, but I loved it. It looks fantastic. Yeah. So here's what I did. We went organic. What did you guys think of the wine?
Tastes delicious. I had a little beforehand.
So I thought, looking at the dish, it was a little complicated in the sense that, I mean, complicated in a good way, but a lot of busy ingredients. And I thought the problem is that some simple wines would not match up to it. And I thought Viognier is kind of nice because there's a sort of a delicacy to it, but a lot of complexity at the same time. And I thought, in this day and age, organic is good, and I think it's nice to sort of feature wines where no pesticides, no herbicides. Nothing's been done in the vineyard that's going to have, you know, add any sort of chemical input. So I think that's kind of a cool thing, cool element.
Great, all right. Applause if you like the pairing. That's a pretty good feedback.
Hands up if you didn't.
You could put some kumquats in that wine.
And I can see the bottle is empty.
He drank that
all by himself. So he's high enough to actually garnish.
Yeah,
so that's it? That's beautiful, right?
That's it.
All right, how about a big hand for Lulu Powers, ladies and gentlemen?
Okay,
all right, you guys enjoy that. We'll have a little more music, and we'll be back with our next course in just a few minutes.